Nightmare, Cryx character helljack.
Bound in iron and death, annihilation I give you form. Wrath Witch, Deneghra.
If the Slayer represents the perfect killing machine, Nightmare is darkness and mortality incarnate. The cold-blackened shell of this helljack gives form to a bestial predatory instinct. It can become a ghostly specter and move through any barrier before coalescing into a brutal and terrifying reality. Striding forward alongside Wrath Witch Deneghra, Nightmare melts into the surrounding shadows until it unexpectedly reaches out to rend its luckless victims limb from limb. Deneghra chose this machine as the vessel of her vengeance, the day its claws held her in place for her sister's violent killing stroke. Yet it was this same Slayer that later carried Deneghra's body from the field, obedient to her even beyond death. After Asphyxious returned her soul to awaken in reconstructed flesh, the thought of her own blood on its claws fueled Deneghra's obsession. Her training as a war witch had taught her to appreciate and crave the great power of blood rituals and black deeds done with passions roused. Her murder had left an indelible imprint on the machine. Deneghra conducted careful preparations to bind the helljack to her will permanently. She ordered her mechanics to modify it extensively to create the perfect instrument of her vengeance, and she oversaw every detail in the work herself. When the machine seemed all in readiness, Deneghra inscribed a complex pattern of runes empowered by sacral blood upon its surfaces. With the completion of the final rune, cold fire erupted along the helljack's form where her life's blood had spilt. Deneghra's mind burnt trails through Nightmare's cortex, creating an imperishable bond between them. Through this link, the helljack became the ultimate hunter, a tireless horror which would follow its quarry with infinite patience and tenacity. It became the favorite demon Deneghra would unleash upon her enemies, a harbinger of their inevitable destruction. Deneghra's mastery over death itself and her transcendent embrace of that state is echoed in her terrible mechanical creation. As Deneghra seizes power independent from the fulfillment of her master's will, Nightmare has increasingly become the instrument of which she carries out her plans. Deneghra's complex schemes require more depths than she has time to read personally, so at times she sends Nightmare in her stead. Its malevolent eyes glint with a flare of necrotite, where she caresses it and speaks the name of its prey and the manner of its death. Once loosed, Nightmare stalks its target like a ghostly hound, unfettered by the obstacles of the physical world. It moves relentlessly through forest or streets with equal ease in pursuit of its named quarry. All hope vanishes to those who witness Nightmare materialize from the shadows to do slaughter. The machine stares out at the world with a singular, unholy malice, the fire in its eyes gleaming with the menacing coldness of the darkness of the night. Those who flee from Nightmare soon despair, for all efforts to evade it prove fruitless, and the helljack closes in on them with the terrible certainty of death.